Hello everybody, just wanted to give you all a video on No Man's Sky tips that I would have for people just starting out. Um, a lot of you senior players will probably already know most of these, but please, if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them. I'll check them every now and then. Um, I've got 400 hours, over 400 hours in this game throughout all my accounts. This current save is over 200 hours, just barely. It's like 216. And I hope these tips and tricks will help you in your journey here in No Man's Sky. Alright, one thing I have noticed that a lot of people have been doing is not really paying attention where they keep their stuff at. And I say that because of this example right here. A big YouTuber keeps their minerals, or some of their minerals, in their cargo. And I really just don't see a point in doing that, because it doesn't matter, which these examples are normal mode, and death, permadeath, and survival. I think it changes how much you can carry, but I'm still 100% sure that the difference is approximately the same on what it'll carry. It's just the number changes. It's less in permadeath. But it does not matter if your minerals are in your general or cargo tab. It only holds 9,999. So you're not getting any advantage over keeping your minerals in your cargo. But your ion batteries and a few other things, which I'll show you here in just a second, you can only store 100 in your general tab of your backpack, whereas if you just put those in your cargo, those 2 slots now become 1. And that's true with any of these down here. At the bottom, you cannot hold this many in 1 slot, and that includes these relics over here as well. And your maps, navigational data, all those, you can hold more in your cargo tab than you can in your general tab. Another little tidbit of information: the information on your different items gives you a use down here at the bottom. If it says trading, there's no point in hoarding it, which I'm pretty bad at hoarding and organization, as you'll notice as I show you all different things in this game. So just pay attention to what that says. If it says trading only, there's no point in holding on to it. A lot of it at the beginning you will not need to hold on to. Really what I would advise is really what I've got right here. The stuff I'm carrying is the stuff you probably need to carry on you. I do have a secondary of importance that I keep here in my freighter, and the reason I do that is, senior players know, you have access to this tab and this tab from anywhere now. It used to just be this tab, but with this update it includes this tab. But they've actually got a flaw right now to where if you're upgrading something and you need to actually use it, which I can't show you in this menu. Well, I guess I could. Let's see. Is there any? Yeah. Like right here, whenever you go to do this, if that item is in your cargo hold of your freighter, you cannot use it. Now I understand, which I've got some of those in my vault. I understand not being able to access those because I have those in my vault, but that's in my freighter and my cargo. It should automatically pop up for me to use it. If I just move that item from my cargo hold into my freighter, I will now be able to do it. See how it's a different color? I could actually just click A and use it, but I don't want to because I don't like those things. But that's just a little info there. That was all right. Next on the list is multi-tool. Multi-tool, which I'd always thought that if you put it, this is the first gun on this account that I had that was S-Class, and I just always assumed that the S-Class models, you put it immediately adjacent to whatever the module was that it was upgrading, it would be better. That's the way I kind of read those or understood those videos that were made by other YouTubers. But that is not true. I just found this out earlier today by moving this around, which this is what I normally did on guns other, but as you notice, the scanner range went way up because I put these right next to each other. So my advice with upgrade modules is have yourself a little bit of room around it. Just move these, which you can't move them in a multi-tool, but you can in your Exosuit and Starship and Freighter. Move them to your general tab or just wherever you can temporarily so that you can have the room to move to play with these. I mean, one thing that I found kind of funny is that this one right here, if I just move it up to there, it drops it down by 25. I thought that was kind of weird. I mean, it has to do with the bonuses, I guess, of this S upgrade versus this S upgrade. Yeah, that one's got a scan radius bonus, that one doesn't. So that's actually why. 31, 31. That would be my advice for any upgrade, not let alone your not just your multi-tool, just anything. Starship, Exosuit, or multi-tool, Freighter. The other thing that I see people do is they'll hold the X here, let off X once it relinquishes or gives them the product, and let off, then push it, and let off, push it. You don't actually have to do that, and that's true on anything you pick up, whether it be this, cans, plants on surface. All you have to do is hold X, and once it actually starts, you can go on to the next one. You don't have to wait for it to finish on the one it's doing. That whole time I just held X down one continuous time, and that's all it took. Let's see. Blueprints. Now you can go to the anomaly, which you will unlock fairly early in the game, and go in the back and get pay for blueprints with nanites. But nanites is one of the harder. I don't really want to say harder things to come back. I mean, they are, but point of the matter is that you can get blueprints by completing these secondary missions down here. Most of the time the rewards for these are blueprints. I mean, of course, that one right there won't be install cargo. That's just install something. But weapons research, they have different ones of these people that I'm staring at right now. This one's the overseer. That's the first one you get. There is a science officer, which is right there. And then way down there is my plant dude. This dude will give you base building blueprints. I'm pretty sure the science officer, honestly, I don't remember what he gives you, but he gives you blueprints too. The plant dude gives you plants. Then I have two on the other side that are weapons and exocraft. They of course give you weapon blueprints or exocraft blueprints. As you go through, you will use this thing to scan items after you unlock it. It's one of the things that's broke that you've got to fix from the very start, and I'll go into that a little bit more with the new save that'll be at the end of this video. When you scan different things, whether it be plants, animals, minerals, any of these things, you get a certain number of units distributed to you at the time of scan. But however, it still stores in here, and so every now and then just go into the Discoveries tab and you'll be able to hold X right here, which I can't do it because I just did it, because this is, I don't know, the third time making this video, just because I didn't like the sound. My voice was too low on one of them and different reasons. Anyway, make sure you upload those discoveries so you'll get free nanites. Another thing is when you're doing one way, especially in expeditions, this helps, is a lot of people will build bases for everyone else in usually the beginning system. They'll be scattered throughout your journey in the expedition, but mass majority of people seem to make them in the first system, which is what I do as well. And in mine, I actually put a message center that pops it up that says disable multiplayer before taking anything. And what that does is that allows that person that arrives 5 minutes after you to get the same resources you get without having to wait for a spawn or for the extractor to fill back up. And now you can re-enable, but anyway, to disable it, it's right in here in network, and it's the very first one. Right now, if I took anything from a base, no one would be able to get any resources out of that base until either their depot or extractor filled up, or if it's cans, they respawned. So only thing you would have to do is before you took anything, just disable this. Go through, take everything you want. Now here's where it becomes I'm not really sure when it happens. But what I do is I wait until I take off and get away from that base, and then I will re-enable this. It might work literally after you grab the last can. You might be able to switch it over to enable, and the next person might have access. But I would just wait just to be sure, and get away from that base before you actually re-enabled it. When it comes to the map, which right now I'm at the center of the galaxy trying to find a home for myself, and let me go back for just a second. Some of the information I'm about to be showing you, you will have to have an economy scanner installed on your ship and a conflict scanner for some information. I'll tell you which is which here in just a second. So we've got the systems that have circles around them. Those are systems that you have already visited. The economy scanner gives you what type of business they're in, what kind of economy it is, and how high of an economy level. There's 1, 2, and 3 star. And then the conflict scanner tells you how bad war is in their system, I guess is the best way of phrasing it. And then there's the race. I can't really remember, to be honest, if race is shown with the economy scanner or if it's just shown by default. That comes into play with ships slightly, and I'll get into that once I get down to my ships. As far as the filters go, the economy I've always thought is useless. I really thought that the best way to do that would be to have only 3 colors: 1-star, 2-star, and 3-star colors. That's it. But it is not. It is based off what the economy is. Like the one I'm in is alchemical. So anything I'm kind of assuming, assuming I guess is a good word for it. But purple would be anything scientific, research, or mining. Then you've got the green, which is shipping and receiving and stuff like that. Power generation. I can't remember what yellow, I think is what it was. Yeah, yellow is manufacturing. So anything to do with that type of stuff would be yellow. So the economy scanner it's basically useless. Conflict, it is the 3 colors. The red bad, yellow caution, green's good. Life form, again, this does come into play when you're looking for a certain kind of ship, or say you're wanting to learn a certain race's vocabulary quicker. Something else is that if you look here, my hyperdrive, the only one I have in is the indium, because whenever you get that next upgrade, okay, it's cadmium's first. Cadmium will let you warp to red star systems, and then you get your emerald, which will allow you to warp to green star systems. But what a lot of people don't realize is that at this point, when I put that emerald drive on my ship, I could actually deconstruct the cadmium. Because with the emerald drive, I'll be able to warp to green and red. Red, you'll only be allowed red. But with the indium drive, I can warp to both green and red, and I don't need either one of these. And I favor these S-class modules, which actually I don't even have any on this ship. This ship isn't made for warping anyway. But the modules, the S-class modules, which I won't show you. I've got other ships with them equipped. The S-class modules are better bonuses than those Emerald Drive and, that's the wrong thing. Than these Emerald Drive and Cadmium. I think one of them is 50 light year bonus and the other is 100 light year bonus. Whereas those S-class upgrades, they'll give you, 250-ish the range bonus. So those actually help out quite a bit more than what these do. So I'd rather use that space for the upgrades instead of those modules. Another thing is that works the same way as the Atlas Pass. The version 3 will open version 2 and version 1 things, but version 1 will not open version 2 thing. It took me probably about half a day, but just getting used to, which a lot of y'all probably already figured this out, the lit line, orangish yellow, goes up to your commander, captain. I mean, you're the captain, but and then the green goes into your area, your base. I've added a few little things to help me. I actually added that before I realized the line thing, but alright, so I've got a plethora of ships down here. And with these ships, I've got different ones, and each one has its own use and benefit. I got the living ship, which actually I don't like those at all, honestly. They are good. Their best bonus is hyperdrive range. Same as, it's got the same bonus as the exotics. The exotics are really good all around, but they are not the best at anything. And I'll get into more depth there in just a couple of seconds. Living ships, their shields actually stink. Their damage is a wide range. Hyperdrive, it's pretty good. Then you've got solars, which there isn't. What I think they're best at, there is no documentation of, but that I can find. But they're decent at damage. They're on the lower end scale of hyperdrive and shield. But what I think they're really good at is speed on planets. Those things actually go pretty fast and help you get around planets a lot quicker, in my opinion. Then you got cargos, which are really good at shield and, of course, cargo capacity. And then you got your fighters, which completely stink in hyperdrive range, but are great in damage and moderate in shield. Actually, I'd say kind of low in shield, but that's why that one's got so many shield modules on it. But alright, exotics, they have a damage of 35 to 50%. This is, when I'm saying this, that's times your base, which I'm not going to get into all that. There's many videos out there on it, but it's 35 to 50 for damage, 55 to 60 for shield, and 50 to 65 for hyperdrive range. So again, they're good, but they're not the best at anything. Example of that would be their highest, which is hyperdrive, which is 50 to 65. The best one that you can get for hyperdrive range is actually an explorer ship, which as an S-class, all these numbers are S-class. Explorer ships are 60 to 80% increase in hyperdrive range. So that's why I would actually focus on getting a explorer ship for your first ship, because that lets you reach that further distance quicker. Fighters, but explorers have no damage. Keep that in mind, no damage bonus. Fighters, whereas they have 0 hyperdrive range bonus, they have a 55 to 60% increase in damage. So that's what those are for. And then the cargo ships have their tanks. Their best bonus is 65 to 85% increase in shield. Shuttles, which I don't own, I will never own another one. They're junk. You really get rid of your shuttle if you get one as quick as you can. What I would honestly do, like I said, explorer first, and then either a fighter or a cargo ship second, depending on really what you want to focus on. This particular cargo ship of mine, I got it for one sole reason. I wanted the big looking containers on the side, because this ship is my base builder, which I've just used this recently and haven't refilled it back up. So as you can see, it is full of anything you might need to create a base. Normally I have this full right here from here up of metal plating, but with this one, see, I don't even have any guns on this because I never fly it. I always just summon it. But I actually do have the emergency warp on here, just because. But that's something that I would advise doing in the first, I don't know, 50 hours, is get you a ship, a cargo ship that is specifically designed as a base builder. So that way when you land on this planet with your explorer ship, exotic ship, or solar ship, you can call this other cargo ship down once you arrive and figure out, well, this is where I want to build my base. And you've got that information, that those resources available to you. Alright, so here we are on the new save. First thing, the way you are facing is the way your starship will be. So I would immediately, I wouldn't try to do anything. Immediately I would just start to run. towards the direction you're facing and find your starship. Give you a place to operate out of. A safe retreat. Sometimes it is just right over the next ridge. Sometimes it is way too far away. If you'll notice, there was a trick right there. It started, from what I hear, it started as a glitch, but then they never, it's like they didn't fix it on purpose. There was my ship, if you noticed it. Is sprint, melee, jetpack. After you get the timing down, you can get it. If you get it wrong, it won't be as nice. Another thing that while I'm clicking through this, when it comes to the systems, star systems, the Gek, Korvac, and Viking is what I'll call them. Gek systems are populated more so with shuttles. Then you've got Viking, which Viking are really good with finding fighters, and then Korvac systems are good for finding explorer ships. Having said that, other ships will definitely spawn in that system. It's just if you are looking for a specific type ship, one of those specific type ships, that's where you would need to go. And when it comes to these at the beginning, I just junk the required take so that I can get what's inside of it. And then same with these two. I wouldn't even worry about picking this stuff up the first, no, really never, if you don't want to. I never use them. You can refine them into stuff in the end. More useful stuff. But alright, so first thing we're going to focus on is getting ferrite dust and carbon. I went ferrite dust first, but actually what I would get first normally, is carbon. And the reason I say that is because you need carbon for your mining laser, and your mining laser is your bread and butter. So if your mining laser isn't working, you're not going to be able to get anything. So make sure to get that carbon first, then focus on getting the ferrite dust. When it comes to mining, oh, sorry dude. Oh crap, now he's mad at me. He's gonna attack me. Oh, really, I didn't want to do that, but oh well. And then the other thing you need to worry about is dihydrogen crystals. Since I've already got a little bit of carbon, I'm gonna go ahead and get this just so it's out of my way. If you look at my laser, it went from green to now it's yellow, now it went red. You don't want it to overheat, but you want to keep it right at the top of yellow and the bottom of red, because you will get more minerals that way. Like if you'll notice right there, it's getting 100 because it's so hot. But if I were to back off, I'll let it overheat. When it overheats, you got to start all the way back over. So at green, you're only getting 40. And until you build it back up, then you'll start getting more and more. So that's why you want to try to keep this, just kind of feather it. And by staying close to your ship right now, once my toxic shield, or radiation shield, goes down, I can just go right back into my ship, let my shield charge back up, and I will be good to get back out in a fairly quick manner and start mining some more. I'm going to grab a few more ferrite dust, and then I honestly think I'll be good. I might need some more dihydrogen jelly. I don't remember how much that gave me. Oh yeah, that was enough right there in that 139. Alright, is there... Oh, I don't have a scanner. I don't visually see any more dihydrogen jelly. There's some oxygen. I'll grab it while I'm out. Again, just holding X, not letting off. And once you grab one, you just go to the other. Alright, so we need ferrite dust to fix this. And I know we need a nanotube. It brought me out to do that, so we're going to craft, I can do both metal plating, which I would actually need 2 because I need to make a refiner. And I know I need that as well. So I did get enough dihydrogen jelly. And then try to create that as soon as you can. It just takes carbon to build that. And I will show you why in just a second. Let me go back to this. And I need pure ferrite, so I'll go ahead and get out and do that and show you all. The discoveries, that is also, that's part of what I'm about to show you, but it also plays, that's not what I want. I don't even have enough ferrite dust. I need 50. I need 10 more. But this is that scanner I was telling you about. And this will give you money when you scan right now. But gave me 1,000 units for scanning that creature. Gave me 3,000 for that creature. And I'll get into minerals in a second. But then when you go to the discoveries and upload it, it will then give you nanites as well. So whenever I actually get to a system for the first time, I'll spend my first shield outside just scanning everything I can see, whether it be minerals, which is what that is. And if you'll notice, once I start scanning it, I can actually start moving that cursor, looking for the next thing. Oh, and it was green, so I thought I'd already scanned it, but I guess I hadn't. There'll be a bunch over here. And just because they look alike doesn't mean that you've already scanned it. So just make sure to look, because there will be those things. I mean, there's an example. I already scanned one over there. They look similar, but there's little differences. And so the basically moral of the story is, just because they look like something you scanned, I'd run your cursor over it just to make sure. Another thing. Alright, so as you can see right there, unidentified mineral ferrite. Unidentified material ferrite dust, and then it says analyze. Is there another one? Okay, so with this one being unidentified material, if I were to mine it right now, the only thing I'd get is ferrite dust. Oh, there's one right behind it. But if I scan it, if you'll notice over there to the left, it's where the question marks are. Primary element's ferrite dust, secondary element is uranium. So now by scanning it and having analyzed it, I will get both the ferrite dust and the uranium from this mineral. So always try to scan everything before you mine it, because you get more stuff. And the more stuff you have, the better off you are. In the beginning, it's a good idea to try to find a cave, because one of the minerals that you have access to in the beginning, one of the easiest materials to make money with in the beginning, is cobalt. And cobalt is highly concentrated in caves of every planet. I've heard mixed things about camera mode. I've heard you don't take damage. That is a cave up there. It was behind me, I think. Yeah. Throw this in here. And I forgot what I was saying. The, it is well worth in the beginning. I forgot what I was saying to begin with, so I'll just go on to something else. If it's the same thing. A good way to spend time in the beginning is in a cave. So if you can find a cave near your ship, the best thing you can do to help you get a good start is to spend, I mean, however long you can in a cave. The more you spend in the cave, the better off you will be. I'm gonna run up here real quick and just grab some. Where did it go? I think it's, yeah, it's right there. Get some cobalt so that way you all can see just how valuable cobalt is. Watch out for those things though in a cave. Those things will hurt you bad. I do remember dying from one of those in the beginning, but you can easily kill them, mine them up, whatever you want to call it, or you could just avoid them, just don't go to them. But alright, so let me get a little bit of cobalt here and I can give you an example as to what this is worth. Alright, so all these other items are worth very little, you know, less than 50 units each usually on the stuff that you can get, which that's the animal that I killed, that leg meat. But cobalt on the other hand is 198 units each, so the more time you spend in here, the more cobalt you will be able to sell. And I mean, this is a decent little cave. And I mean, you've got carbon inside here with these things that would allow you to continually mine. I've seen some caves that didn't have hardly any carbon in it at all. One YouTuber, I do remember him saying he collected marl bulb, and I know he refined it. I never did that. Pretty much it. If you find a planet that is not a hazardous planet, I'll use this term, but to me paradise planet means something else. But if it's a paradise planet that just has the storms every now and then, but my opinion of a paradise planet is, you know, you're not damaged out here and it doesn't have storms. But something to where just standing out here right now when there's not a storm isn't damaging you. Take your time once you get terrain manipulator and go around and just get those. Like, one thing I do is I'll bookmark that, I'll go to that one. Actually what I'll do is I'll find the one closest to me and I'll tag that and then I'll go to that, and then once I get to that one, then I'll go around and I'll try to find the next one, and then I'll tag that, and then I'll next closest one, and then I'll go to that one. And I mean, I'll spend a lot of time doing that, and you really need to worry about that when, like I said, you got your terrain manipulator, and you've also got either the construction building upgrade, which you'll get at the very beginning. In fact, I think it's like this 2 or 3 missions away from, 3 or 4 missions away from my current position right now. My first one, I said that, but I haven't even started what I would consider the first one, and that's this one right here. Do that, and then it pops me into a dialogue telling me that go to this little ball right in front of me to the right to get a hermetic seal, and that will give me, once I go up here, it'll give me a map, and then it'll give me another location to go to get a hermetic seal. That's what I would consider your very first mission. And I know that it's either 2 or 3 away now. Once I finish this one, you will get a base computer where you'll be able to create a base. Then once you create that base, I don't remember exactly how far it is into it. It's either a little bit of time or it's immediately. They give you a vending machine to be able to construct and be able to buy other construction blueprints, base blueprints, that will allow you to build more, and those are the currency that is used to purchase those. Your vending machine is limited. It doesn't have a lot of the blueprints, but it does have some. Once you get the anomaly, you will be able to go onto there in the very back and buy all the upgrades for your ship, for your multi-tool, for your exosuit, and be able to buy blueprints that are not in your vending machine that you can create. So what I would do, maybe 10 hours into the game, is I'd spend just one day, one time play, once you find a lush planet, a paradise planet, and just do that. Go to the buried technologies, find their next one. And as you're doing it, something I kind of look for too are the little, I don't remember seeing one, is the little, what? Unknown grave. That's how you get glyphs, which I'm not going to go into that, but that's what you look for with glyphs. You can actually go talk to the people in station that are glowing, that do not look like any other NPCs. No, I do not. Right there. As I'm going, I also look for those, and those teach you words of the race that the system is based out of. So like if this was a Gex system, which I haven't even looked, that would teach you a Gek word. If this was a Korvax system, it would teach you a Korvac word. And that'll just help you with the Q&A type side missions that pop up. Gives you more of an understanding about what they're asking. Alright, so I wanted to do things I forgot to mention in the video that I wanted to come back and kind of touch on. When it comes to ship radar, wrong one. This little display in the bottom center there, the diamond looking thing, of course, is your station. Then that's the anomaly, the purple looking diamond, which that's new. I don't think it was a purple diamond, but the purple squares are other fleets. A lot of times those fleets have those frigates that you can recruit into your own fleet once you have a freighter. And then yellow squares are other ships. And then the pirates will show up. Pretty sure they're red squares, but they show up on there too, but not in this view when I'm fighting pirates. So, alright, so there's an exotic ship in this system. Right there was another exotic. Come on, hurry up, spin around. Right there, another exotic for you. Alright, so when it comes to selling your materials, if you go and sell your materials to the trade center up here, you will actually, if you have enough of them, you can change this 10.5, 17.1. If you had a bunch of these items and you went to sell them in this system, that number would actually go down. A workaround that you could do, like there's your cobalt right now, which that's the example really that I'm kind of getting at, is whenever you mine all that cobalt in the system, if you come here and you sell 9,999 of them, that plus 1.7 would then go to, I mean, I'm just estimating my numbers here, but it would go down to negative 2.5. The more you sell in the system, the more you hurt the economy. And that would be just basically hurting the economy. You wouldn't get as much of a value. But if you sell it to these pilots that come in, it does not count against the systems trade. Okay, then another thing is cargo expansions. Every time you warp to a new system, you can dock in the station, come up here, and right there you can get an expansion for your cargo to allow you, with money, with units, that'll expand your cargo. And you can also just undock and call the anomaly, and then in the back left of it is the same type of system where you can just purchase another cargo slot once you can call the anomaly, that is. So just keep that in mind. You can always just get two. Once you get up to a higher value, a higher number of cargo slots, the more expensive it gets. So you've got to have a decent amount of money to go about that way. You can also get them through, as you're flying into the station on the right, there's 3 little offices you can talk to, and in that furthest one to the right, the one that has the map on the back wall, you can purchase with navigational data. You can purchase exact maps. That one of those maps is a cargo pod. Cargo pods, you can pick up exosuit expansions with small cost. I mean, you'll have to have like 3 different materials. I don't remember exactly what they are, but they're not that bad of a material to get. Now I wanted to come here, and this is one of my farms, Extreme Planet, and I just wanted to show you all something. If you get out there on a planet and the hazards, or a storm comes in and the hazards are really about to get you down, just take your terrain manipulator, and as you'll notice, if I dig down deep enough, it stops hurting me. So you can always take refuge from these by just digging down and digging a hole. If you come up to a certain point, it will start hurting you again, which it doesn't take all the way. I mean, I can be in here and still be getting hurt. But if you can dig down far enough, you can actually gain your hazard shield back. So I wanted to show you all that. And then I have a bad habit of, there it is. I guess not necessarily a bad habit, but I have a habit of filling those holes in that I make, because it gets to be a pain. And then the last tip that I have for you is, whenever you are in the market to get a freighter, you get one for free. I would highly advise searching S-Class Freighter free on YouTube. There's many videos that state how to do it, but just find you a system that has the freighter that you like the look of and the coloration of, and then just follow what those videos say. I believe it's every 3 hours and 5 jumps you will encounter a freighter battle, and you fight these pirates, save the freighter tells you to come aboard, and it will give you the option to get said freighter for free. What I actually did is I found the freighter I wanted, and then I warped to a system right next door, put a hard save on a planet, and then I warped back and forth. And every time I warped, I would save it when I got back to the system that was one system away from where my freighter was that I wanted. I'd save it so that way I had it down to where my hard save was literally one jump is all I had to do, and then there was my freighter battle. And that's what takes the longest, is figuring that out. And it's more of a calculation of the time than it is the jumps. The jumps aren't that big of a deal. But once I did get to that number, get to that point to where my next warp was my freighter battle, I believe it took me about an hour to get this freighter that I have now. It's just numerous times just doing it over and over again. And when you get out of your freighter, let's say I just got out of my ship on the freighter, only thing you need to do is this up against the wall of the freighter, and it will tell you over here what class ship it is, what class freighter. So there's no need to go all the way upstairs, just do that. And I really would not take anything less than an A, but as you can see me, I held out till I got my S. So it's all up to you. That S can happen in 15 minutes, it can happen in 15 hours. It's just an RNG thing. Alright, well that's all I have for you all. I hope this video has helped.